Just the other day, while the story, as the story goes, while some of these border crossers were checking in as they are required by the government, required by law, the government decided time for you to go. It's time for you to get deported. We are not going to entertain your request or whatever it is anymore. You broke into the country, you border crossed, you intruded, and now it's time for you to go. And this is out in Los Angeles, of course. You really have to appreciate that this is almost everywhere in the West. This is almost every city, every town. And indeed, like locusts, like butterflies that might come to your city and take it over and ruin it with their butterfly-ness. This is almost all of our homes. There's so much here to dig into with what happened and is happening. Indeed, what's going to end up happening tonight and in the days to come, as many of these different anti-white entities are talking about ramping up their anti-white terror, which is what it is. The government decided, ICE decided that they were going to grab people to deport them, that the law was going to actually be applied to these people. And the moment that they did, individuals, anti-white, specifically non-white there initially is what it looked like to me, began attacking ICE, their vehicles, their building. They surrounded their building. They were throwing bricks. These things, if they hit you in the head, you die. You die. Spray painting with their terrible grammar. I mean, if there's anything that's going to drive you nuts, right, is going to be some kind of miscreant tagging a building with bad grammar and injuring officers, literally chasing them back into the ICE detention center and beginning to destroy the detention center. And while this was happening, there was no police response. And there's some mixed reports. There are some reports that Karen Bass, you remember this anti-white, non-white pig who has traveled routinely to Cuba to be trained by the anti-whites in Cuba. It's reported that she withheld the law enforcement so that they couldn't help. Even, of course, the governor as well, intervening to withhold law enforcement so that they couldn't help. Their subsequent statements seemed to comport with that reportage. Some of the most chilling is the most also, or all the most also revealing statements that this is ours. This is our city. This is what we've been telling you folks all along. This is what we've been telling the white race all along. This isn't about a different way to govern a city. This is about white erasing white people from our country. When the Karen Bass anti-white pigs of the world, and then the few white anti-whites that are in that mix, like Newsom, when they come out and they say, this is ours now, what they're telling you is their objective is to white erase you from your civilization so that more and more can be theirs now. Your laws don't apply here. You just are on the hook to pay for it all. You are just on the hook to make sure that some semblance of Western civility remains, that some semblance of Western law and order remains in these anti-white, white erased areas. This should be the loudest message, a trumpet from the devil's own lips about what anti-whites are doing across the West. When the Karen Basses and these other mestizos, how the fuck are they even allowed to be in office? Why, in our Western civilization, are we allowing people of other races to hold office? At a minimum, it should be multiple generations. You should have to, on both sides of your family, if you're not white. Although if you're white, immediately you could be a politician. If you're white, anti-whiteism is banned. If you're white, then you have the West inside of you. It's your instinct. But if you're non-white, the West is not in you. It's not your instinct. And evidence, of course, is what we see all around us. What we see where the people come from. That's okay. I don't have Latin America inside of me. I don't have Asia inside of me. I don't have black culture inside. I can't produce any of that. All of these, of course, are my opinion. The ear is against the door. But that was one of the things that shouted out at me in a sanguinary way. We're not here, ladies and gentlemen. The anti-whites have revealed again and again and again, and here with the anti-white terror in LA, revealing yet again with the statements, this is ours now. We have pushed you out. It is ours. White race, where are you going to go? Where are you going to run? When is enough enough? Who will stand with me? When are you going to use the tools that'll work both in your house, in government offices, in the workplace? When are you going to start using the tools that create the moral matrix that enable us to take whatever action necessary to defend ourselves? They are telling you, white race. They are outright telling you, it's ours now, get out. That is the mission for all of anti-whiteism. So they began the anti-white terror. And that's what this is. This is not wokies. This is not progressives, or I heard one content creator, a cuck with a massive number of followers, extreme progressives. Could you imagine being called that by the people you're victimizing? The anti-whites probably never stop laughing. How do they ever pull themselves together to rape and pillage and rap in and steal and loot? And how do they ever get up off of the floor when the people you're victimizing are like the extreme progressives, the wokies? These are anti-white terror troops. These are anti-white terrorists. What's happening is an anti-white terror. It's an anti-white militaristic assault on the white race. You can look very clearly at the things that are said, the things that are celebrated, what they're out in the streets chanting about. You can look very clearly and see the victims. This is racial. It is racially white victims. There are some good non-white people that stand with us, and we love them. They're fantastic people. But it's this, all of this taking place across the West is racially white victims. So white people need to get over this idea that for us to come together to put an end to our victimization is us coming together for white supremacy. We are being victimized. What's the other side? The other side, and in LA in particular, is almost entirely non-white anti-whites. But broadly, we can call it multiracial anti-whiteism, because there are plenty of white people. There are non-whites of various races. What weds them all together is their hatred of the West, and that means hatred of white people. Heather McDonald says in her interview what I've been saying for decades. The West is white people. The West is white people. Anti-Western is anti-whiteism. There is no West without us.